This video is gonna be too long. I'm sorry. Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back. One of you suggested, thank you Gina, she had been watching videos from the past of mine. And this video was my first video where I answer questions that you guys have asked me. Since that video is 3 years old, she was wondering how many of the answers would be different if I was asked the same questions today. Some of these, my answers are the same, but I was really surprised how many of my answers have changed. Right. Number one, if you won or were given $1 million, what would you do with the money? It's the same answer that I had 3 years ago. Naturally, I would take some of the money and I would help my own children with it. Try to make our Lord proud of me by helping the sick and the suffering and the poor and the widows and the children and, you know, giving money to help those people that are less fortunate. Number two says, what makes you happy? And it's pretty much the same answer. A roof over my head, food in my stomach. You know, if I'm warm, I have air conditioning, and if I'm cold, I have heat, and those things make me happy. Everything that I have that's not that is just extra. And I thank the Lord that sometimes He gives me what I want to, but He always gives me what I need. Number three asks, what skincare products have made the biggest difference in your skin? This question, like a few other questions I've gotten in here, I don't think that I answered it the way I was supposed to. I think that this question really wants to know not about mechanical, but rather traditional skincare that you put on your face. 3 years ago, no question, no doubt about it, I would say that what made the biggest difference, and probably it still is, but I don't use it as much, was the Trophy Skin Microdermabrasion. I will say the one that I've used the longest, probably Genifique from Lancome, has made the biggest difference in my skin because I do notice when I stop that, my skin goes back to looking dull. In addition to that, I think that niacinamide makes a huge difference. How do you get makeup in the waterline to last, and what is your tip for making lipstick last? And that answer did change a little bit. 3 years ago, I didn't know about the Milk eyeliners, or maybe they didn't even have them 3 years ago. Editing Mary here. If you see my Instagram, you'll know that I just found out because I called Milk on the phone and said, where can I buy this eyeliner? It seems to be out everywhere. And they said, we discontinued it. So I'm currently still looking. Now, as far as lipstick goes, this is a liquid lip. It's by Rimmel. It's not called Apocalypse, but it would take the apocalypse to get this off your mouth. This is Provocalypse. And what you got is you got your color on one end, so that's over here. I use red the most. This is, I think, my third one of these. If you have a problem with red bleeding on you, get this. You put this on with its doe foot. This is like the Vaseline. It feels like Vaseline to me. It's the topper that goes on top of this that keeps it from looking dry. It won't come off with drinking, with eating. Number five, do you wear makeup every day? And there's usually a couple of days a week where I don't wear makeup at all. I'm just letting my skin rest because when I do put on makeup, I go to town. Number six, does Shy Guy hate lipstick the way my guy does? No, he doesn't. The only thing that he will do is he will say, you got it on me. And then sometimes I can say, no, I didn't, baby. Number seven says, what has been your favorite makeup trend, past or present? 3 years ago, I think I answered this. Contour and highlight were my favorite trend, but I no longer stand by that. Maybe a smoky eye. Number 8 says, how many kids do you have? I know that you have mentioned your son in the past, and is your husband pretty supportive of what you do? And it's the same answer. We have 5 kids. And is he supportive? Yes. He supports me in everything. Number 9 says, how many fellow YouTubers have you met in person? Off the top of my head, if I'm remembering correctly, I've met 4. The first one is Mary Ellen after 60. She's one of my closest BFFs. Also, Kristen Game. And then my other BFF, Michelle, and Marlene. flew here and they got a hotel and stayed, and we went shopping and hung out, and it was a really great weekend. So, number 11, if money was no object, what is the one skincare or makeup item that you would run out and buy? Probably what it would be is the La Prairie powder that my friend Mel Thompson always talks about. I have found that the powders Mel loves work well on me too. So if she keeps saying that this La Prairie powder is just all that, and I know that the other powders that she likes are what she said they were, then that'd probably be it. Number 12, if you could choose only one to work for you, would it be a chef, a chauffeur, or a maid? Same answer. Maid. I already know how to cook. I don't want to anymore, but I can cook. And if I don't want to, we can always go out to eat. As far as a chauffeur goes, no. If I was older, like driving Miss Daisy, okay, you know. I don't think any of you need an explanation for why a maid would be a choice, but yeah, I'll take help with cleaning every single day. Number 13 wants to know, how much money do you spend in an average month? And the last time, I think I just skipped around this. I'll say this, not all of the stuff that was on my Visa that I pay off every single month, not all of that was makeup, but a lot of it was, or skincare, you know. Okay, I went and totaled it up. So last month I spent $325.41. What brand do you love the most? And you know what is funny? When I watched that, I was like, oh my gosh, my answer to this question was so bratty. Really? I pretty much took the opportunity to dog Lancome for not sending me PR. And I watched that and went, you little brat, what the heck? It's actually going to depend on what thing you're talking about. If you're talking about makeup, if you're talking about skincare, if you're talking about hair care, that question can't really be answered well because I don't know what area of stuff you're talking about. But on the whole, probably you hear me talking most about Lancome. If we're talking about brushes, then it's going to be definitely Sigma. If we're talking synthetic, it's going to be probably Refer or Sonia G if we're talking about goat hair. I mean, we could sit here all day long and talk about my favorite brands in various areas. Number 15 wants to know what my favorite hobbies are. And it's kind of the same thing. I don't really have hobbies. Makeup? Yeah, I don't really have hobbies because while I am more active than I was 3 years ago, now I don't have the time. This channel, you would not even believe how much time a YouTube channel takes. If you don't have a YouTube channel, you would really never understand, I don't think, just how much time goes into the YouTube channel. It's like you get up in the morning and it's YouTube all day long until night. Okay, and then you go to bed. Number 16 says, how did you get started doing YouTube? And do you get a lot of negative comments? And if so, do you block people or just say whatever? I've already told this story about how I got started on YouTube a zillion times. Okay, maybe not a zillion, but I have told it a lot. Community. So the first 3 women that I found that were not young teeny boppers, as I call them, doing makeup was Angie from Hot and Flashy, Lana, Indiana, and Patty Rockstar Mom. And they were all blonde. As far as I could tell, there was nobody to represent the brown-haired people, right? So I thought, brunettes, I'm a brunette, they're all blondes. I'll make a YouTube channel and then maybe they'll be friends with me, okay? And I can, we can have our own little thing, a community. So to answer that question, then, yes, I kind of thought I was going to represent older women who were brunette. After I got started on my channel, I realized soon after that there was a whole community of women that were older here. And you know what? There was plenty who had brown hair. So they didn't need me after all. Now, as far as negative comments go, what I get is, I don't like your hair, or you look 20 years older with your hair like that. One person was actually like, please, please, please dye your hair again. And they were to the video they were talking about, I was wearing a wig. And I'm like, that is a wig. Do you block people or just say whatevs? I'm getting increasingly more spam. People that are like wanting to just post links to like porn or something. I will block those people from coming back to the channel. If I pick up on that the comment is coming from a guy and he's like coming on to me, that gets blocked. If you just have a different opinion than I do, you're entitled to your opinion. Number 17, if you could choose one skincare line for an entire year, what would it be? In the last video, I said Mad Hippie. I love Mad Hippie, I really do. I also love Derma E. I love Lancome. I love Clarins. I don't think realistically I could choose one skincare line. That's the only one that I'm going to use. I'm not going to use anything but that. If you're really going to force my hand on it, I probably would pick Mad Hippie. And here's why. I've already done like 10 months straight of using nothing but Mad Hippie to see how it worked. And it worked and I had no issues. 2, I'm not going to say Mad Hippie is cheap. It's not cheap, but it's more affordable than, say, Clarins. And I just love Mad Hippie and what they stand for. So I guess maybe if you forced me, I would say Mad Hippie. Number 18 says, what is the most ridiculous thing that you have ever been sent for consideration? And I'm going to still stick with nothing. They ask me and I say yes or no. And so I'm not really to the point where people just send me things. So as far as saying something that was sent to me was ridiculous, no, because I approve everything that's coming my way. This one is pretty easy. What software do you use to edit? And it used to be iMovie, but now it's Final Cut Pro. Number 20, if you could change something about your looks, would it be your face or your body? And I'm not sure what I said last time, but it would probably be my body. Number 21 took me a little bit because Siri is stupid. I dictated these last night, and obviously, I mean, it's not me. The question is, why do I say shy guy is shy? I think that's what that question says. And then in my answer last time, I said that that was an oxymoron. He doesn't talk much. He wants to not say very much. That's probably because he never gets a word in edgewise. He's a pretty easygoing, quiet guy, and it gets taken for shy a lot. So. Number 22 cracks me up. Have you been invited to a makeup brand event? I can't imagine why any brand would seriously invite me to an event. Okay, number 23. Have you ever been to a makeup convention like IMATS? Nope. I never have, probably never will. Now that I've said that, I'm sure I will, but I don't see me going to any kind of a makeup event. Number 24, do you watch drama channels, and if so, which ones? In the last video, I kind of like went on a whole thing that I'm not going to this time. Something is always happening. And I usually miss the boat. I usually don't know what it is that's going on. So yeah, I will tune in a few drama channels to try and figure it out. I don't watch a lot of the bigger channels. And let's face it, that's where it happens pretty much, is the bigger channels. Something happens, they fall into it, and then next thing you know, maybe they should just shut Twitter down. That might be a really good thing. Number 25, would you rather have a weekend at the beach, mountains, or spa? It's still going to be spa. 26, who does the cooking in your house and what's your go-to dinner? This has changed. This girl right here still does the cooking in the house. I think what I said was tacos, but no, my go-to dinner now is chicken tenders and salad. I love chicken tenders now that I found that Kentucky kernel flour that they have, that seasoning flour that they have, Kentucky Kernel with a K. Kentucky Kernel flour, seasoned flour. Oh, it's so good. And that is both mine and my son's favorite dinner, is when I make that. Shy guy thinks that, no, he doesn't like those spices, but we do. Number 27 is where, all right, if you could speak to some of the younger beauty YouTubers on YouTube, what advice would you give, and who, if any, would you like to collaborate with? And there's another part to that question that says, where do I think that YouTube will be 5 to 10 years from now? So let's first deal with the beauty YouTubers. This was at the time specifically about the thing that Manny, Laura Lee, and I don't even remember who else. That's how much it matters now. I don't know. So much worse stuff has happened since then. And I went on this thing where I spouted off all the things that I just, my opinion is just so important. What I do know is in 3 years, I have learned to, on stuff like that. I got no advice to give to these younger YouTubers other than, stuff like, make sure that you're investing. If you're making money, make sure you invest. You would be surprised at, if you start now, how much $5, even out of every paycheck, just $5 a week or even a month. Don't say, well, that's so little, it'll never add up. Just do it, okay? So probably that, and don't compromise your integrity for money. Here's the second part of this. Where do you think it will be 2 to 10 years from now? Probably not doing this. Okay, every year it seems to go down a little bit more, so it's probably not going to be like this. 28 says, if you could have your own makeup line, what item would you release first? And I remember this. I don't really think that I know enough to put out makeup products, to tell you the truth. I mean, if I were going to do something like have an eyeshadow palette or whatever, I would heavily be leaning on the company that I'm working with. So it would have to be somebody I really, really trusted to help me put that together. As far as formulation and all that stuff, I'm not a chemist. That's not what I do. I didn't go to makeup school. I don't, so I don't think I really know enough. But what I'd like to see is the same thing I said before, and that would be a foundation like the one Lancome used to have. It was their Visionaire, I think it was Visionaire foundation, and it had the foundation on the bottom, and then the cap had a concealer that went with that foundation. While I was looking for this picture, I saw that this foundation is still for sale in various places like eBay and Amazon, and I just want to tell you, don't buy this. It was excellent in its day, but this foundation has to be expired by at least 5 years. You just put the foundation on, and then you flip the cap and use the concealer. And I feel like if a foundation would look good on me, as an older woman, it would pretty much work for everyone, wouldn't it? I think. But, like I said, I don't know about that kind of thing, so I don't know. Number 29 wants to know, what did you do when your kids were younger for a living? Were you a stay-at-home mom, or did you have a job outside? And I've talked about this a lot too. This could be a whole video in itself. It really could. Because, I did work. I've been home with my kids and I've worked with my kids. I have so many opinions on that whole scenario. And I've been a secretary. I've been a x-ray tech. I've been a photographer. I've had a realtor's license at one point. There have been so many things that I have done over the years. What they all have in common was a desire to try to be home as much as possible with my kids. Number 30 asks if I like to travel or if I'm a homebody. And I'm a homebody. Pretty much. Number 31 says, what is your favorite skincare item, the one that you cannot live without? And it's not the Trophy Skin Microdermabrasion machine. I know a lot of you probably think that, but 3 years ago it was. But now I don't need it all the time. Maybe it's going to be my vitamin C, because everything else in my routine kind of changes. Like I'll use this one week and then I'll switch off to this and I'll try that and stuff. But one thing I never seem to mess with is my vitamin C. Number 32, do you have any crazy stories regarding your photography days that you can share with us? And this video is getting so long. Do you really care? No? Okay. I probably shouldn't share stories from my photography days, because my photography days, I was doing a lot of drinking. A lot of the stuff that I would tell you about are inappropriate and I cannot tell you. And some of them involve celebrities that I don't want to lose everything I've got in a lawsuit. Number 33 wants to know what my favorite foundation is, and this definitely has changed. Just recently, I discovered Clarins foundation, the Everlasting Plus, I think it's called, foundation. Love that. I love my Lancome Tinted Doll. I love my Lancome Absolute. I have so many nice foundations that I really do love. And ironically, the ones I said in the last video are ones I don't even use anymore. 34 says, how'd you meet your hubby? On the school bus. He was the new kid in town, and I met him on the school bus. And I remember him standing because there wasn't any seat. He had on a pair of Levi's. And when I say Levi's, you know what they were. If you're from the 70s, then you know that they were big bell jeans, on a corduroy brown coat, and his hair was like really long and it went over on one side, and he was like swaying because the bus was going, but he was holding on to the seats in the aisle and he was swaying. And you know, the bus driver just keeps driving. Back then, it's okay if you want to stand up in the aisles. You know, he was swaying and his hair was swaying back and forth. And I remember looking at him and thinking, yeah, you're going to be trouble for somebody. It ain't gonna be me. And he worked like the devil to get my attention for a solid year. And I was like, nope, not having nothing to do with you. You are trouble with a capital T. And I love that bad boy. Number 35 wants to know if I grew up in Indy. Yes, I did. Number 36, what is your favorite thing to do besides raiding Ulta trash? Okay. There's a video, it's actually a vlog, where I took my son and his girlfriend and we went over to find the Ulta dumpster because we heard that people were like trash diving for products in the Ulta dumpster. So that's a reference to that video. What is your favorite thing to do besides raiding the Ulta dumpster? Friday night movies with my guy. I like watching movies with him. I love it when he gets the weekend off and we can just lay on the couch and watch movie after movie. And these days, you could do that and never get to the end of all the possibilities of things that you could watch. Number 37 asks about my favorite red lipstick. And I said that it was Marc Jacobs So Rouge before, and I still love that lipstick. It's starting to get a little dry now though, but that was a limited edition. I mean, you had to be a rouge at Sephora to even get it. And I have a lot of super nice red lipsticks that I just absolutely adore. But like I was telling you before, this one here, because red travels into my little lines, and because it smears and gets so messy on your mouth, if I'm going to wear a red lip somewhere other than right here where I can take care of it, it's always this. It's always this Rimmel Provocalypse. I can't read this, and the magnification glass is like way over there. Okay, and yeah, I'll put what it is right here. Okay. Number 38, I think we can just throw out because it no longer pertains to anything, and I really don't like how I was being in the last video over this. The question was, what would your advice be to Laura Lee and Manny MUA over the scandal they had? And I touched a little bit on that just a little bit ago. I think that if I've learned anything, or I hope I've learned anything, it is to keep my mouth shut. Because when I don't, thank the Lord I haven't had to be in that position, but most of the time, if I open up my mouth and give my thoughts, my opinion on something, it is like within a week, I am walking in their shoes. I don't want to walk in these people's shoes, so it doesn't matter what my opinion is. 39 says, if calories and carbs were no issue, what would be your favorite meal from appetizer to dessert? If we're really not going to care about the carbs or anything like that, then give me those loaded cheese fries. You guys ever heard of the Outback? I love their cheese fries. So cheese fries, filet mignon, a loaded baked potato with tons of butter and sour cream. I want that thing swimming in it, and bacon on top of it, red velvet cake. And when you make that icing, put more cream cheese than powdered sugar in it. Ah, yeah. Number 40 wants to know, are you still doing a keto low-carb lifestyle? If so, have you had any good results? And do you cheat, and how often? All right, now back then, I wasn't doing keto. I was doing what I thought was a low-carb lifestyle, but really it wasn't. It was more of what my husband's diabetic doctor told him to do, which was 60 carbs or less in a meal. And for us, at that time, that was low carb. I did adapt to a not strict, but keto lifestyle for about a year. And I lost 35 pounds doing that. I've kept all of it off. Do I have cheat days? Yeah, you bet I do. And when I say that, I'm talking about that big bowl of popcorn. I love popcorn. I could bring my husband in here and he could report to you how many times I go without all day long just so I can eat that popcorn. It's ridiculous how much I love popcorn. But what I do is basically watch my macros and my calories. My day typically looks like 70% fat, 10% carb, 20% protein. That's what I strive for. Most of the time it's not a clean diet though, so that's not good. Anyway, I just log what I eat on the Lose It app and make sure that my calories stay where they need to be, that my macros are where they need to be, and if I have to give up something to have something else, I'll do it. If I got to get out there and walk to have something I want or burn off what I went over, I'll do that too. Number 41, what do you do for a living? Do you work at home? Yep. Do YouTube? On the other video, I said yes, that I did work from home, but I don't have that job anymore. YouTube is now my job. It pulls in enough money for me so far to pay the utilities, to pay for my internet, to pay for the cosmetics and things that I need to in order to keep the channel going. When I'm not able to do that anymore, you'll know because I will pack up shop. But once again, I would like to say thank you to the Fritzy family angels. Number 42, I don't even want to answer. It's how long have Shy Guy and I been married? And I'm going to tell you the same thing I did the last time. We've been married legally with a piece of paper that says we're married for 28 years now. We've been together a lot longer than that. So I'm going to say, be careful before you judge people. You might be wearing their shoes tomorrow. Number 43 says, where did you get your amazing sense of humor? And you know, it's kind of the same thing I said the last time too, which is not sure it's really a sense of humor or an immaturity. Where I get it, I don't know. I really don't. My parents, neither one are like this. Neither one of them, not that they don't have a sense of humor, but nobody in my family is as goofy and immature as I am. And you guys make it worse. You encourage me, you know. I'm like that child. You're just like, don't encourage her, okay? She'll just keep doing it. Number 44 says, what is the most important thing that you learned from having a YouTube channel? Probably the most important thing that this YouTube channel has done for me is to teach me not to take things so personal. Before this channel, I could not take criticism at all. I would take it personal, everything. I took everything so personal. Number 45 wants to know what is my favorite lipstick right now. It's this one by Natasha Denona. It is from the I Need a Nude line. Gorgeous. My friend, my BFF Michelle, she sent this to me with a bunch of other stuff for my birthday. Not that I don't still love my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks and the other lipsticks that I have, but this is the one I pick up every single day. Number 46 wants to know what my biggest accomplishment is, and most people would say it was their kids. And in the last video, I feel like what I said when I listened to it back 3 years later, I mean, it's true what I said, but I don't think that there's a good way to say that doesn't somehow tie me into it. And that would be my salvation, okay? And I think it's that word accomplishments, like I accomplished my own salvation. And that is not what I meant. So we're not going to do that. It should be something I accomplished independent of others. I guess it's going to have to be something like quitting smoking. 15 years ago on the 4th of July, I laid down my cigarettes and said, I am free. I will not smoke anymore. And so far, one day at a time, I still haven't. Number 47 is hilarious. I even ran this one by Shy Guy last night. Say something happened and you could only take 5 things that are in your home, and you could take those 5 things, and that's it. That's all the 5 things you can have. Last time that we did this video, I totally misunderstood the question, and I said 5 things that could prove my identity. Like 5 things that could prove who I was to start over. It doesn't say anything about starting over. It says if you can only keep 5 possessions, what would they be? Me and Shy Guy were laughing about this last night. One of his is the television. That big 75-inch television, you're going to like cart that out of the house. That's one of your 5 things that you can keep. Neither one of us said the dang house. Should have said the house. But we're going to stick with the 5 I said, and you can just crack up laughing if you want to. So last time, like I said, I picked like 5 things that could prove my identity, like my birth certificate and, you know, really. So this time, the first thing I said was the safe, the whole safe. Because in the safe is those 5 things that I could prove my identity with, but also things that obviously I don't want to lose in a fire. Cash, all of those things that I said before that proved who I was. A hard drive that has all of our digital movies, photographs. The second thing that I picked was, you guys are not going to believe this. I probably shouldn't even say this, but it's my bidet. I'm going to go in there to take the bidet seat. I'm sorry, I can't go to the bathroom anywhere if it doesn't have a bidet now. My glasses, at least one pair of them, because I can't see anything without them. My phone, because anything else I would need to access, I can access from my phone. And something to wear on my body. I promise we're almost to the end. Number 47, what is my best childhood memory? I could not possibly tell you a favorite childhood memory. There's too many of them, and my brain just like, memories for me are like very random. They like pop in and out of my head. Like right now, I just thought of my brother at the Mr. Softy truck and how I made him drink choc cola that was really mud and water. I don't know where this stuff comes from. Number 48 is, what is one thing that you've had enough of with current makeup traits and why? And the last time I said cut crease because I couldn't do one. So should we just go ahead and say that again? Because I can't think of any makeup traits that I've had enough of, unless it's making your highlight so blinding that you are on fleek. I don't know. Number 49 was, as a Christmas decorator, she wanted to know, when did I start putting up Christmas decorations? And I talked all about that, how I really am a Grinch. I really don't like to decorate for Christmas. I admire everyone else's decorations, but I don't want to have to do it myself. I know it's disappointing that I'm like that, but that is the way it is. You know? And number 50 wants to know what my favorite photo of myself is. And at that time, I described this black and white photo that I had taken back in my photography days of myself. I'm going to say today it is also a photo that I've actually, you know, now that I think about it, every photo that I've ever taken that I have loved of myself is one that I have taken of myself. I'm going to say it was the picture that I took for the Sigma brush set. That's my favorite picture of me. Number 51 says, what would be your dream place to visit? A trip to Jerusalem, to walk in the steps of Jesus. And guess where we would have to board the flight to get there? That's right, I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. I guess there's 2 more. Both of those would be cruises. One would be a Mediterranean cruise, which also would take in part of Jerusalem, I think, or the cruise to Hawaii. We've always wanted to do that too. All right, the very last question wanted to know if there was ever a launch that I felt, I have it right here, that I was disappointed that I missed out on because the product was discontinued and you couldn't get it anymore. And I said yes. The Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass Urban Decay. This was sent to me after that video by my friend Cindy, and I will link her channel, but I don't think that she makes videos anymore. If you are Fritzy family that is in the know about me, then you know that I have a thing for Alice in Wonderland. When you open it up, that's what it says on it.
I'm not strange, weird, off, nor crazy. My reality is just different from yours.
And then you open these up right here, if I can get my hands on it, and there's a butterfly. Okay, I want to make sure I hold the bottom here. So there's a butterfly in here. This drawer slides out, and in it is the Alice in Wonderland brush and these shadows, which you can see have been swatched, but I have never actually worn these. I mean, they've been touched, so I probably should pull it out sometime and just do a look with it, but I never have. For me, this is a set around and a beautiful gift from a dear friend. All right, then, that's the end of it. So I hope you guys know that We're all mad here. I hope that you guys know that you're the best part of the Fritzy family. And if you're not having a blessed day, it's really easy to get one. Just go out and be a blessing to somebody else. And until next time, love you, see ya. Bye. And I'm out.
What have I got, a horn here? And it's called Apocalypse. No, it's not. There's no horsemen that are coming or anything. It takes the 4 horsemen. I'm kidding that out there. I don't like drugstore stickers on my blue. That was on this hole. Oh, great. So, Twitch. Twitching time. It's Twitch time. It's Twitch time. Stop twitching my eye. Number 12. If you could choose only one to work for. What? I don't want to work for anyone. Let's just get that clear right now. Because, yeah, I don't really need to explain that, do I? What's this? I don't know. Hiya! Ooh. But if you were like, do it, figure it out. One skincare liner you're just gonna use. You can't use anything but that. And why would you do that to me? Why are you shy guy shy? What? Why are you shy guy shy? Who's an oxymoron? What does that say? Nobody can get a word in around me. I'm like, I never shut my mouth. It just keeps going and going and going. It's getting hot in here, but we don't sing the song, 'cause Google will take away your money. Johnny come lately, the new kid in town. Everybody loves him, don't they? And he's holding her. You look in her eyes, the music begins to play. Alright, I got this microphone here. Okay, focus on me now. I'm gonna put on a show with my microphone. Okay, thank you. You gotta do your job, okay? Hopeless romantics, here we go again. I'm sorry. And I think it's something about a fire truck or something. I don't know, my house is on fire. It's called My House is on Fire. No, it's something about a fire truck, I think. My day typically looks like 70% fat, 10% carb, and 30%... Does that add up to 100, you dumb butt? Best thing this channel has done for me is teach me to, forgot. I don't remember what it was. What's that word? Street, out where they walk, out where they run, out where they spend all day in the sun. Wandering free, wish I could be part of that world. Yeah, I got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I got 20. I got a frog in my throat. I see something you don't see, and the color is white. It's those lights right there. Oh, what did you pick?